New tonight at 5:30, vacant, abandoned buildings in Baltimore. Blocks and blocks of them. They're neighborhood eyesores, and they're also dangerous. So how bad is Baltimore's blighted housing problem? Well, bad enough that the city's firefighters are now plastering some abandoned buildings with a clear warning sign.
You may have noticed them. The 11 News I-Team certainly has. I-Team lead investigative reporter Jay Miller is live in the newsroom with more on that story. Jay.
Donna, the warning signs are part of a pilot program to keep firefighters safe. In the process, we find questions. What about the people who own these dangerous buildings? Why haven't they been forced to do something about them? The city's fire department calls it the Code X-ray program. People in the communities where they're showing up call them something else.
I heard it too. I don't know what the scarlet letter is, but I heard it too.
Scarlet letter as in calling attention to something shameful. Who can argue? The vacant buildings where the placards are going up are in terrible shape. Magnets for trash and rotten neighbors.
I stay away from there because you don't know if the front's going to fall down or what.
The fire department started posting the worst vacant buildings late last year. The X on the red background is intended as a warning to stay out if the building catches on fire.
Warn firefighters that, hey, this could potentially be an unsafe structure and to use a different tactic in battling this fire. We simply won't send those firefighters inside to battle a fire in an unsafe structure.
I watched all of them go vacant.
Cynthia Mills has lived in the 2200 block of Druid Hill Avenue for nearly 30 years. A bunch of houses on her block have the red X's. Two others might be in line. They're the ones whose facades are crumbling.
We got one right there that just fell on its own.
All of the houses with the red X markings on Druid Hill Avenue have received violation notices from the city. The city tries to use such violations in certain areas to push property owners to rehab their buildings. But here, enforcement efforts may not matter.
In a distressed market, that's right. Because half of them aren't even going to have a property owner, quote unquote, on the other side that's going to be responsive to an arm twisting.
Most of the properties we checked on Druid Hill Avenue were listed by the city as having no contact with the owner. Several of the placarded properties are actually owned by the city, including these two that are next to a corner store. That just underscores the problem. Even when the city's the property owner, dealing with the worst of the blight is no better.
We have an excess that needs to be demolished. We need $180 million to do that demolition, conservatively speaking. We don't have that right now.
The amount of money the city budgets each year for demolition, $2 to $3 million. And 10,000 vacant buildings, housing officials say, need to come down. Reporting live tonight from the newsroom, I'm Jane Miller, WBAL TV 11 News.